This is a Mountain News Special Report. 2025, the year in review. From our studios in Hazard, here's Steve Hensley.
Hello and welcome to our look back at 2025. The first half of the year was marked by two of our worst natural disasters in the last half century. On Valentine's Day weekend, a scene unfortunately we've become all too familiar with in recent years.
I mean, there is Triangle Park and you cannot see any of that grass.
Valentine's Day weekend 2025 was anything but romantic in eastern Kentucky. WYMT meteorologists Eric Dean and Megan Dusmall were on the air for hours February 15th and 16th as National Weather Service offices issued dozens of flood warnings.
Now we have some active rescues being reported.
Just 2.5 years after the devastating July 2022 flash flooding, this time it was mainly river flooding, and we made national news again.
A brutal winter storm system that thrashed much of the South this weekend left swaths of eastern Kentucky underwater.
We just got hit by one of the most significant natural disasters we've seen in our lifetime, and that's after seeing a lot.
Throughout the state, hundreds of roads were closed, tens of thousands were left without power, and more than 1,000 water rescues were performed. At least 12 river sites experienced historic preliminary crests, so historic they were within the top 5 all time.
This is the worst flood event that I can recall. And I do remember the 77 flood. Pikeville was destroyed, with a lot of damage in downtown Pikeville, but that was all prevented by the cut through.
Yeah.
But this is the largest river flood event that we've had probably since 1957 or 1963.
Approximately 24 deaths in Kentucky were blamed on the flooding or the bitter cold and snow that followed. Many were cleaning up for the second or third time since 2021, while others saw water creep in their homes and businesses for the first time ever.
Everything's gone. I mean, cabinets, all the furniture, everything was just submerged. HVAC unit. And then when you start thinking about days ahead, you start thinking about once we start rebuilding, we have to have stoves, refrigerator. I mean, it's just like a continued list, but the hardest part is probably the memories.
In Hazard, the North Fork of the Kentucky River crested above 30 feet for the first time since 1984.
I think I was in shock. It was I just didn't think we'd get in the house this time, but I was wrong.
And just like always, volunteers began helping their neighbors recover immediately, and groups came in from other parts of the country.
Hazard actually came down to Asheville, North Carolina, where I live, and after Hurricane Helene, and they brought an incredible amount of help down. And so this feels incredibly personal to just love back.
Mountain folk, that's what we do. We pull together, so this is not a surprise. This is just a testament of who we are and what makes the mountains special.
While it was not hard to find the helpers, many wonder what the future holds. Will they be able to rebuild?
Right now it's a financial thing more than anything. You start getting into some of this stuff, it's $1,000 here and $1,000 there before you know it, you $10,000, $15,000 before you know it, and I ain't got it no more. Financially, I don't know if we're gonna be able to open back up. I mean, it's tough.
As the cleanup continues, higher ground communities are built and lawmakers look for long-term solutions. An exhausted region wonders not if, but how soon before it happens again. One of those business owners affected, 84-year-old Frances Napier, who owned a diner for decades in Perry County. After seeing her business open back up, the beloved community member died in September. Just 2 months after that flood, one of the deadliest and destructive tornadoes in our region's history left its mark across southern Kentucky.
So if you're in the London or Corbin area, this is just to the west of you. Please pay very close attention to this system.
The EF4 tornado with peak winds of 170 miles per hour caused catastrophic damage in parts of Pulaski and Laurel counties. 19 people were killed, 17 in Laurel County alone. Another Laurel County man died from complications related to his injuries in December. More than 100 others were hurt and hundreds of homes were damaged or destroyed. This was the deadliest single tornado in the history of the area covered by the National Weather Service in Jackson. But even right after the disaster, signs of hope. One eyewitnessed as our cameras were rolling during an interview with London tornado survivor and former WYMT anchor Danielle Smoot. As we're talking, there's somebody walking over here. We saw them earlier with a cross, and I'm not sure what the story behind that is. Greg, I don't know if you can pan over, and maybe we can talk to him later, but you're just seeing scenes like this. Amidst all this destruction, you're seeing God, you're seeing scenes of hope.
Absolutely. And it's things like this that give people hope. You know, that lets people know this is a visible sign that somebody is praying for you. We know that people are praying for our community, but to see somebody with a cross and carrying it, that's when your faith becomes sight. That's whenever you know for sure that God is here and that He's going to help us through this storm.
Many crime stories and court cases grabbed our attention in 2025, but one in particular involving a child shocked everyone. 10-year-old Jaden Spicer was first reported missing in Breathitt County by his mother in early August. After a nearly week-long search by multiple agencies and community volunteers, his body was found in a shallow grave. Jaden's mother, Felicia Gross, and his stepfather, Joshua Gross, have been charged in connection with his death. Police say Felicia Gross admitted to giving Jaden too much sleeping medicine. He was laid to rest in a custom Spider-Man casket. The year ended with a Christmas Eve tragedy in Jackson County. 3 children died and several other people were hurt after a house fire. Coming up in our Year in Review special, wildfires, plane crashes, assassinations, and a return to the White House for Donald Trump. A look at the top national and political headlines of 2025. 2025 got off to a tragic start with a deadly New Year's Day terror attack in New Orleans. Just about a week later, catastrophic wildfires devastated Los Angeles. As CBS's Bradley Blackburn shows us, that was only the start of news stories that made national headlines this year.
Deadly flash flooding in central Texas killed more than 130 people in July, including 27 young campers and counselors at an all-girls Christian camp.
When I think about the trauma and fear that our girls endured, it makes me physically ill.
Wildfires in Los Angeles and neighboring areas burned for weeks in January, causing dozens of deaths and massive destruction.
We never imagined something like this happening, wiping out our entire community.
Wildfires during the summer destroyed historic buildings at the Grand Canyon.
Let's roll, let's roll.
A pickup truck plowed into a crowd of revelers in New Orleans on New Year's Day, killing 14 people in what the FBI said was a deadly terror attack committed by an Army veteran.
He was 100% inspired by ISIS.
A gunman opened fire at a Midtown Manhattan office building where the NFL is headquartered, killing 4, including a police officer. 2 Catholic school children were killed in a shooting at their church in Minneapolis.
Calls from Brown University, they're reporting an active shooter.
Police linked a gunman who killed 2 Brown University students during final exams to the murder of an MIT professor. A young couple who worked for the Israeli embassy was gunned down, leaving the Capitol Jewish Museum, and an Egyptian national firebombed a pro-Israel demonstration in Boulder, Colorado.
Also a helicopter and the plane crashed in the river.
In January, a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter and American Eagle regional jet collided over the Potomac River near Reagan National Airport, killing 67 people. In November, a UPS cargo plane crashed shortly after takeoff in Louisville, Kentucky, killing 15 people. 10 inmates who escaped from the Orleans Parish Prison were all eventually recaptured after months on the run. Brian Koberger accepted a plea deal in exchange for life in prison for the 2022 murders of 4 University of Idaho students.
You're a delusional, pathetic, hypochondriac loser.
Music mogul Sean Diddy Combs was sentenced to 50 months behind bars after being convicted of prostitution charges, but he was acquitted of more serious charges, including racketeering, conspiracy, and sex trafficking.
These defendants.
The FBI announced the arrests of dozens of people, including current NBA players and a coach, in connection to investigations into alleged betting and poker schemes. It took him 11 years, but Rory McIlroy finally completed golf's Grand Slam when he won the Masters in April, becoming only the 6th player to do it. In hockey, the Washington Capitals' Alex Ovechkin broke Wayne Gretzky's NHL record for most career goals scored.
Splashdown, Crew 9 back on Earth.
Astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sonny Williams finally made it home after their 8-day mission in space turned into 9 months. And finally, Dictionary.com's word of the year is 6'7". It doesn't seem to mean anything, but that didn't stop kids and teens from making it 2025's viral sensation. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
History was also made overseas in 2025. In the Middle East, a fragile ceasefire between Israel and Hamas held in Gaza, but Israel and Iran traded their biggest blows in years. A devastating 7.7 magnitude earthquake killed more than 3,700 people in Myanmar. A Boeing 787 bound for London crashed moments after takeoff in India, killing 260 people and leaving just one survivor. In a historic moment for the Catholic Church, cardinals elected the world's first American pope, Chicago-born Leo XIV. And in the final month of 2025, Australia saw its deadliest shooting in nearly 30 years at a Hanukkah celebration. 2025 was a politically volatile year as President Trump returned to the White House intent on shaking things up. The president came in and slashed the government, kicked off a large-scale immigration roundup, and made the word tariff his word of the year. But there were also a lot of steps taken on both sides of the political divide to set up the all-important midterm elections in 2026. CBS's Natalie Brand has the political year in review from Washington.
So help me God. So help me God. Congratulations, Mr. President.
President Trump kicked off the new year taking the oath as the 47th President of the United States and wasted no time signing 26 executive orders that day.
This is an order creating and implementing the Department of Governmental Efficiency, known as DOGE.
Okay, that's a big one.
DOGE, led by billionaire Elon Musk, went to work slashing the size of federal government, eliminating tens of thousands of jobs and dramatically cutting government agencies.
This is the chainsaw for bureaucracy.
But the new administration beefed up Border Patrol and ICE, adding thousands of new agents to enforce immigration policies and carry out mass deportations. The National Guard also deployed to Democratic-run cities, including Washington, D.C., Los Angeles, and Chicago.
Your divisiveness and your brutality are not welcome here.
Border security was a key component of the Republicans' One Big Beautiful Bill President Trump signed into law July 4th.
We have the biggest tax cut, the biggest spending cut, the largest border security investment.
Democrats argue the legislation makes steep cuts to SNAP benefits and Medicaid. The Congressional Budget Office estimates it will add about $3.4 trillion to the deficit over the next decade.
You see the hatred he's got for Putin, it's very tough.
On the foreign policy front, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's February visit to the White House turned into a highly contentious Oval Office clash.
You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards.
Trump held a face-to-face meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin in Alaska this summer, and negotiations to end that war drag on.
This is a big day, a beautiful day.
President Trump did make progress in the Middle East, securing a peace deal between Israel and Hamas and seeing the remaining living Israeli hostages released. Trump declared tariff his favorite word and placed at least one on all U.S. trading partners.
It's going to be Liberation Day in America.
A standoff on Capitol Hill led to the longest government shutdown in American history.
There's no way out, folks. There's no way out.
Democrats pushed for an extension of enhanced Affordable Care Act health subsidies. With impacts to SNAP recipients and the flying public, a handful of Democrats negotiated a compromise with Republicans to end the impasse.
The motion upon reconsideration is agreed to.
A bipartisan push also forced a vote to compel the DOJ to release all files on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
We fought the president
the Attorney General, the FBI Director, the Speaker of the House, and the Vice President to get this win.
The U.S. Supreme Court looked at a number of challenges to Trump administration policies on its emergency docket, siding with the president nearly every time. One decision allowed Texas to move forward with a plan to draw new congressional districts for the upcoming 2026 midterm elections. Other Republican states have taken similar steps as President Trump tries to keep control of Congress. 2025's off-year elections brought wins for Democrats in the New Jersey and Virginia gubernatorial races and for self-described Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani in New York's mayoral race.
I feel very confident that he can do a very good job.
The country also saw political divisions boil over in heinous ways. The Pennsylvania governor's house was set on fire. Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband were murdered. And conservative activist Charlie Kirk was assassinated in front of a large crowd at Utah Valley University, shocking the nation and leading to calls for all sides to lower the political rhetoric heading into next year's elections. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Washington.
In local politics, Senator Mitch McConnell announced he would not seek re-election, and London Mayor Randall Weddle was removed from office, then reinstated, as disputes between the mayor and city council continue. Still to come on our Year in Review special, a look back at some notable deaths of 2025, including a very personal loss here at WYMT. We lost some notable Kentuckians in 2025, former Governor Martha Lane Collins, Belfry football coach Philip Haywood, and Appalachian author Gurney Norman, just to name a few. We also suffered a tremendous loss here at WYMT when former chief forecaster Brandon Robinson died after a nearly decade-long battle with brain cancer. He was only 42.
This forecast is brought to you by the letters T, G, I, and F.
Tornado on the ground in West Liberty. We've got
tornado on the ground.
Tornado on the ground in West Liberty from the National Weather Service.
When I finally got home that night and got to sit down and it was after the 11 o'clock news, it hits you. It just kind of, did I do enough? Did we give enough notice? Were we serious enough? Could we have done more? And, I call it survivor's guilt.
Steve Hensley and Brandon Robinson, come on up for Tornado Outbreak.
This is the first Emmy win for our station.
Good morning, just after 10:30, Brandon Robinson here live at Haphazard, continuing our severe weather coverage this morning, our winter weather coverage. They have designated me an official hillbilly. So, yeehaw, we're glad to be here, and we'll have much more fun coming up tonight at 6 o'clock.
Well, that hat really suits you, Brandon. It might prevent a sunburn.
You like that? It might. I don't know, that bald head of mine, you never know.
Although we did get some rain yesterday at times, so it wasn't a complete washout, and we just lost our lights this morning. So, a little bit of a, let's go to live pinpoint off the radar until we get
that should be lit up, right?
There you go.
I learned very quickly in life, after spending most of my youth wanting to run away from these mountains, that there's really no better place to be. Yes, we have our fair share of problems, a declining economy and a growing drug problem, to name a few, but always remember, no matter what happens, this is home.
Braden lost more than 90 pounds since January and blogged his weight loss journey on YouTube.
Because I thought, if what I do and my experiences can help someone decide to change their life, then that's what it's all about.
So I guess when I first found out that I had cancer, the best way I can put it was overwhelming. It was a shock, and you just didn't know how to process it at first, but you just had to take it one day at a time. On Dasher, on Dancer, on Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen, to the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away all. All right, just after 1 o'clock, and we're on the air and on Facebook. A lot of folks have been wanting these updates, and we've got a lot to talk about, so we're going to be covering up some programming for a little while. Flash flood emergency is in effect until 4:30. Catastrophic damage possible. This is why we're telling you to stay at home, people. The flood water is already coming up on the tire there. This is not safe to be out in.
My wife was texting me pictures from our house, and we were very fortunate that we didn't have water in the house, but she sent me a picture. It was basically at the bottom of our steps, and I had never seen the creek that high at our house.
As a two-time survivor myself, we're going to get it done. We're going to get a cure for this thing. It may not be in time for our friend here, but someday we're going to get this thing beat back. Who's with me? No matter the trial, no matter the struggle, as long as you have faith, anything is possible. Thank you all, and may God bless each and every one of you in this wonderful Gray Matters family. Thank you.
Pope Francis, former Dukes of Hazzard star Rick Hurst, and the man responsible for bringing professional wrestling into mainstream culture, Hulk Hogan, are among the notable entertainers and leaders we lost this year. Here's a look back at some noteworthy deaths around the world in 2025.
The first time ever I saw your face, I thought the sun rose in your eyes, and the moon and the stars were the gifts you gave to the dark and the endless skies. And the first time ever I kissed your mouth, I felt the earth move in my hand, like the trembling heart of a captive bird that was there at my command, my love. And the first time ever I lay with.
From diss tracks to demon hunters, 2025 set the stage for an unforgettable year. CBS's Gwen Baumgardner looks back at some of the major entertainment stories.
They not like us. They not like us.
Kendrick Lamar kicked off 2025 with 5 Grammy wins, including Song and Record of the Year for Not Like Us. And only a week later, headlining the Super Bowl halftime show with a musical performance surrounded by social commentary.
Oh, look at these two.
It wasn't the music that made this Coldplay concert unforgettable.
Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
This Jumbotron moment went viral, sparking parodies, memes, and the pair's job resignations. At the Oscars, indie film Anora walked away with 5 awards, including Best Picture, And at the Emmys, Apple TV's The Studio received 13 wins, setting a record for most wins by a comedy series in a single season. Jimmy Kimmel was temporarily out of a job when ABC suspended him following a monologue about the murder of Charlie Kirk. The decision prompted protests and discourse about free speech. Adding to the late-night shakeup,
the network will be ending The Late Show in May. And
Stephen Colbert announced his decade-running show on CBS was coming to an end. Rapper Sean Diddy Combs was convicted on prostitution charges and sentenced to 50 months in jail following a trial that spanned several weeks. And the legal battle continues for It Ends With Us co-stars Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Lively accused Baldoni of sexual harassment. He hit back with a lawsuit claiming defamation and extortion. Baldoni's lawsuit was dismissed. Memorials continue to grow following the shocking death of Rob Reiner, the decorated director and actor, along with his wife Michelle, killed in their Los Angeles home.
I want to tell you how the world lost its mind with grief the day you died.
This was part of a tribute to Diane Keaton as the world said goodbye to several Hollywood legends in 2025. Actors Robert Redford, Gene Hackman, Malcolm Jamal Warner, and the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne.
They're stealing the souls of our fans?
K-pop Demon Hunters hit a high note on Netflix, becoming the site's most streamed movie ever. At the domestic box office, the Minecraft movie had the year's biggest opening weekend, pulling in more than $162 million. Billionaires headed down the aisle in 2025. Jeff Bezos wed Lauren Sanchez in Venice. Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco had an intimate ceremony in California. Taylor Swift also got her love story. The singing superstar became engaged to NFL boyfriend Travis Kelce in August. Her 12th studio album, The Life of a Showgirl, became the fastest-selling album in history. Those are some of the year's top entertainment stories. Gwen Baumgardner, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Thank you so much for joining us for this look back at 2025, the year we also celebrated WYMT's 40th anniversary. We look forward to bringing you the latest mountain news, weather, and sports in 2026. Good night.